Great. So welcome, Lizandi Schoeman, if I got that correctly. Lizandi is the student rep on the FICS Research Commission, and so as a part of our introducing everybody, it's Lizandi's turn to tell us all about herself. So I might welcome you first, and then kick off with a nice open-ended question like, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you're up to.
Thank you for having me. So I'm currently a sixth-year chiropractic student at the University of Johannesburg in South Africa. So to tell you a bit about myself, I'm a sports lover, and I've been a sports lover for my whole life. I've participated in sports, and my passion is always been athletics and netball. So I represented South Africa with netball in high school, where we went to Malaysia and Singapore. And I was also the under-15 South African triple jump champion. And I just loved always participating in sports. And then 2 years ago, I was participating for the university and then as well provincially. And then in the one match, I actually hurt my knee and tore my PCL. So, and then COVID hit. So I haven't been back on the netball court as yet. I've just been playing for fun, so not any competitive netball now, but I definitely want to go back. And then for the chiropractic aspect, I love working with athletes, and I've seen it with myself when I was young. That is how I got into chiropractic. So in grade 6, I tore my ankle ligaments for the first time in netball, and my mom actually took me to a chiropractor the first time, and he got me back onto the field so quickly. I was amazed. I was like, how is this happening? And then in high school, I tore my ankle ligaments again twice, and he also got me back again so fast that all of my teammates went to my chiropractor with their injuries, because he just made such an amazing impact in all of the players' lives. So that just sparked an interest in me into chiropractic, as I saw what benefits chiropractic has to people, especially athletes, and how you can actually benefit from chiropractic treatment.
Excellent. That's great to hear those sort of stories. Hang on. And so with that kind of background, perhaps, so that's led you to do the the chiropractic program in South Africa. So I know there's a couple of programs, I believe, in South Africa. How about you give us a bit of a rundown on your education and how many years you're there, because it's different in different parts of the world. So how do they do it in South Africa?
So in South Africa, there's only 2 places to actually study chiropractic. So it is at UJ, the University of Johannesburg, and DUT, which is the Durban University of Technology. And both of the universities, the chiropractic, it is 6 years to actually study. So in the last 2 years, you have clinical experience. So that's when you work in the clinic with actual patients, just to get that experience working with real life patients. And I love that now, that I actually can work on people while I was studying. So in 5th year, you still study and then you work on patients. And then in 6th year, you study and then you have to do internship hours. So with internship hours, you have to do different types of jobs so that they just make you ready for the real world. So the different parts of the internship hours will be, you have to get an actual job in the afternoon that pays you. So that can be any job that you can show, okay, this job pays me. The other aspects is you have to go shadow other medical professions. So like doctors, physios, biokineticists. And then you also have to go shadow other chiropractors just to get other inputs, see how they do treatments. So it's just to broaden your aspects and see more of what is outside. And then also in your 5th and 6th year, you also have to do a dissertation with research. And I'm currently doing my dissertation on the knowledge that professional rugby players have about the chiropractic profession. as I feel it is very interesting just to see what professional rugby players actually think about chiropractors and if they actually use chiropractors. Because I know in South Africa, all the professional rugby teams have a medical team, which is usually composed out of doctors, physios, and then biokineticists. So it will be interesting for me to see if the rugby players also actually use chiropractors and if some unions actually have chiropractors part of their medical teams.
Okay, well, given that we're here on a research brief, have you got any ideas about your methodology that you might use with your research, your proposed research?
So far I'm still busy with my research, so I haven't gone into it too much, but I'm still waiting on all of those aspects of methodology and everything. But I'm gonna send out a survey to all of the unions, so to let the players fill that in for me. So yeah, that's so far my plan.
Okay, and so when does that all get underway?
So it's gonna be soon. It will be in this coming month.
Oh, very, very soon. Okay, well, that's great. Lots of planning going into that. Give your supervisor a plug. Who's supervising your study?
So it's Dr. Moodley at UJ.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
You've got to look after the supervisors. Come on.
Yeah, I do. But she's very nice, and she's also a chiropractor, also practicing in South Africa, and then she also lectures and gives us the practical aspects of chiropractic. So she teaches us adjustments in our third year.
Okay, well-rounded, nice. And so what sort of level will you be targeting with regards to your population that you're going to study?
So the population, it will be around like 100 participants, and the population will be players that are between 18 and 40 years.
And so are we talking amateurs or sort of serious or elite, semi-elites?
No, like elite players, like professional players. So they have to be contracted by the union.
Very good, because that is a little bit of a weak spot for chiropractic research, that we don't have a lot of research in higher level athletes. So that's excellent that you've chosen that population, and it's even better that you've got access to them, which is something which is sometimes a little difficult to procure, but it's great that you've done that. So it's good to know that. And so what about the future after you get, I know we're looking down the pipe a little bit here, but you're going to get through this. And so what are your plans for when you get to the other side of all of this and then you're out in the big world?
Yeah, so that is daunting still for me. So I'm still having my eyes open, looking for opportunities and jobs. So I definitely want to work with sport. So I'm either looking in South Africa to work with sports teams and then also have my own practice, or I'm also looking to maybe go overseas to America or to the Netherlands.
Well, there are people listening here, so anywhere in particular you'd like to go? You never know what might happen.
So in America, I would like to go to Boston. And then Netherlands, I'm not too sure of where. I've been there with like an athletics tour where they took us to the Netherlands, and it was an amazing experience. The people were so friendly and it was very nice there. I loved it there. So yeah.
Well, hopefully someone in the FICS family might hear that call and look after you after you finish your studies. Any plans to do research? You know, I get it that you know there's an immediate plan to get into practice and do that, but so you're looking to undertake a sports practice per se, or just general chiropractic?
No, definitely a sports practice. I would love to work with athletes, as that is like my passion. I want to get athletes back on the field as fast as possible, and I want to help them to be better athletes. So definitely with athletes.
Are you going to continue to focus maybe with your track and field or rugby or anywhere in particular, or just general sports?
No, I think general sports. I love different types of sports, even though I only personally did netball and athletics. I love watching rugby. I love watching all different types of sports like cycling. It's not a given that I only have to do one sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And so research, is that in your future, aside from your immediate research? I mean, after you graduate?
Yeah, I think research is a good way to promote a profession, and also especially in chiropractic because there's so much growth potential still. So I feel like if we have to give back, then research is a good way to give back, especially in the chiropractic profession.
Couldn't agree with you more. And so if we, most of the, or all of the folks that we've interviewed so far haven't been students, so I have asked them a little bit about their lived experience. And so if I was to say to you, out of your history with your education so far with chiropractic, what part of that education do you think has served you the best?
So what part of my education? I think definitely working with actual chiropractors as my lecturers, so they can actually tell me. So there were some lecturers that would like anatomy and they were not chiropractors, and then other lecturers that are chiropractors. So you learn a lot from them for the clinical aspect, where they give you actual perception of like, this is a example of a patient that may come in, or this is an example of a patient. So I feel like those type of talks was for me the most beneficial. And then also in my second year, we did dissection on actual bodies to learn the anatomy. And till today, I feel like that has helped me a lot to understand the body as I physically saw everything, how everything works, where it is. So till today, I remember still like how that smell was, even though it wasn't the best smell. But I just remember
The old
everything on that
formalin.
cadaver.
I still remember that from my anatomy days too. Formalin. You tend not to forget that any time in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, is there anything else that you'd like to bring forth to discuss in terms of your trajectory? I know you've been helping out at the moment we're trying to build a list of the lead researchers from all the chiropractic institutions around the world, and you've been helping out putting that list together. So thank you very much for that. And we look to continue build that. And then once we have that list, we can then go back to all of those folk around the world and say, right, this is the sort of the FICS research agenda. This is where we need research, and could you steer your people into this direction, which is, I think, a good way to go, because it's hard for them to provide research that we need as a group if they don't know what it is that we need in the first place. So thanks very much for doing that. And so any plans for, once you get out the other side, to sort of move forward into the FICS family further and get involved in other commissions?
Yes, I'm doing my ICSC course as well now, so I'm busy with those courses. And definitely I want to stay with FICS, so I'll enroll as a member after this scholarship, and then also definitely try and get into the other commissions, help out where I can. So I'll definitely want to be part of FICS much more. And I also just want to tell other students to actually take this opportunity, and if the scholarship opens up again for next year, take the opportunity with both hands, because it's really amazing and it opens up so much doors, and you just learn so much more than what you actually think you can learn, and it gives you just a stepping stone that you just needed. So yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that plug. I think that at this point, well, thank you very much for your time, and we'll say bye-bye for now, but you'll be hearing from me on the emails in the not distant future about some other little jobs I could get you to do.
No, that's perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. We are very well represented in South Africa. Thank you very much.